Strangely, Oracle intentionally accumulated enemies. Ellison theory was that it always good to have an enemy as long as it was large enough to appear threatening and thus motivational to employees, but not so large as to actually threaten the company. So Ellison was probably thrilled when in 1996, a small database company called Informix put up a billboard near Oracle's Redwood Shores headquarters that read "Cautions Dinosaur Crossing." Another Informix billboard on Northbound Highway 101 read, "You just passed Redwood Shores, so did we." Oracle shot back with a billboard that implied that Informix software was slower than snails. The Informix CEO Phil White decided to make things personal when White learned that Larry Ellison enjoyed Japanese samurai culture. He commissioned a new billboard depicting the Oracle logo along with a broken samurai sword. The ad wasn't even really aimed at Oracle as an entity, let alone the consuming public. It was a personal attack on Ellison, but perhaps White spent a little too much time worrying about the competition while he was busy creating Billboard. Informix much imploded in a massive accounting scandal, and White soon found himself in federal prison for securities fund fraud. For securities fraud. If you can't beat a rival, it may be better to merge. I started Confin- Confinity with my co-founder Max Lichten in 1998 when we released the PayPal product in late 1999. Elon Musk's X.com was right 1 hour heels. Our company offices were 4 blocks apart on University Avenue in Palo Alto. An X product mirror our feature for feature. By late 1999, we were in all out war. Many of us at PayPal log 100 hours work week. No doubt that we counterproductive, but the focus wasn't on objective productivity. The focus was defeating X.com. One of our engineers actually designed a bomb for this purpose. When he presented the schematic at team meeting, Calmer heats prevail and proposal was attributed to extreme sleep deprivation. But in February 2000, Elon and I were more scared about the rapidly inflating tech bubble than we were about each other. A financial crash would ruin us both before we could finish our fight. So, in early March, we met on Natural Ground, a cafe almost exactly equidistant to our office, and negotiated a 50-50 merger. De-escalating the rivalry post-merger wasn't easy, but as far as problem go, it was a good one to have. As a unified team, we were able to ride out the dot-com crash and then build a successful business. Sometimes you do have to fight where that's true. You should fight, and when there is no middle ground, either don't throw any punches or strike hard and end it quickly. The advice can be hard to follow because pride and honor pride and honor can get it in the way. Hans Hamlet. Exposing what is moral and sure to all that fortune that endangered dear, even for an eggshell, rightly to be great. It's not to stir without great argument, but greatly to find quarrel in straw when honor's at the stake. For Helmet, greatness means willingness to fight for reason as thin as an eggshell. Anyone would fight for things that matter. True heroes take their personal honor so seriously they will fight for things that don't matter. This twisted logic is a part of human nature, but it's disastrous in business. If you can go recognize competition as a destructive force instead of a sign of value, you already more sane than most. The next chapter is about how to use a clear head to build a monopoly business. Last mover advantage. Last mover advantage. Escaping competition will give you a monopoly, but even a monopoly is only a great business if it can endure in the future. Compare the value of the New York Times Company with Twitter. Each employ a few thousand people, each give millions of people a way to get news. But when Twitter went public in 2013, it was valued at $24 million, more than 12 times the Times market capitalization, even though the Times earned 133 millions in 2012 while Twitter lost money. What explained the huge premium for Twitter? The answer is cash flow. This sounds bizarre at first since the time was profitable while Twitter wasn't, but a great business is defined by its ability to generate cash flow. In the future, investors expect Twitter will be able to capture monopoly profit over the next decade while newspaper monopoly days are over. Simply state Simply stated, the value of business today is the sum of all the money it will make in the future. To proper value a business, you also have to discount those future cash flow to their present worth, since a given amount of money today is worth more than the same amount in the future. Comparing discounting cash flows shows the difference between low growth business and high growth startup at its starkest. Most of the value of the low growth business is in the near term. An old economy business like a newspaper might hold its value if it can maintain its current cash flow for 5 or 6 years. However, any firms with close substitute will see its profit compete away. Nightclubs or restaurants are extreme examples. Successful ones might collect healthy amount today, but their cash flows will probably dwindle over the next few years when customers move on to newer and trendier alternatives. Technology companies follow the opposite trajectory. They often lose money for the first few years. It makes time to build valuable things, and that means delayed revenue. Most of tech companies' value will come at least 10 to 15 years in the future. Present value cash flow of a business in decline. In March 2001, PayPal had yet to make a profit, but our revenue were growing 100% year over year. When I projected our future cash flow, I found that 75% of our company present value would come from profit generated in 2011 and beyond, and hard to believe for a company that had been in business for only 27 months, but even that turned out to be an underestimation today. PayPal continued to grow at about 15% annually. The discount rate is lower than a decade ago. It now appears that most of the company value will come from 2020 and beyond. LinkedIn is another good example of a company whose value exists in the far future. As of early 2014, its market capitalization was $24.5 billion, very high for a company with less than $1 billion in revenue and only $21.6 million in the net income for 2012. You might look at these numbers and conclude that investors have gone insane, but this valuation makes sense when you consider LinkedIn projected future cash flow. Present value of cash flow at tech company LinkedIn.